Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 7, which is entitled Scheduled Incarnations with Specific Functions. Is there going to be translation?
You understand English?
Yeah.
No need. Everyone understands
Everybody
English.
speaks English. Okay. And it's number 1. Yatrodhyata siti talo dharanaya vibrat Kraudin tanum sakala yagya mayim ananta antar maharnava upagatam adi daityam tam damstrayadrim hiva yajradaro dadara. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Lord Brahma said, when the unlimitedly powerful Lord assumed the form of a boar as a pastime just to lift the planet Earth, which was drowned in the great ocean of the universe called the Garbhodaka, the first demon, Hiranyaksha, appeared, and the Lord pierced him with his tusk. Purport. Since the beginning of creation, the demons and the demigods, or the Vaisnavas, are always the two classes of living beings to dominate the planets of the universes. Lord Brahma is the first demigod, and Hiranyaksha is the first demon in this universe. Only under certain conditions do the planets float as weightless balls in the air. And as soon as these conditions are disturbed, the planets may fall down in the Garbhodaka ocean, which covers half the universe. So here different points are mentioned already. So the manifestation of the universe is, we're speaking about the material universe, is a creation which has a beginning and an end, just like the life of the living entities has a beginning and an end. And even the life of the demigods, although their lifetimes are much longer, they also have a beginning and an end. It's only in the spiritual world that there is eternal life. And the soul also is eternal, because that belongs to the spiritual world. So, but all the life here in this material world, material creation, is temporary. And this pastime with where it says here was the first demon, Hiranyaksha. This pastime comes from the confrontation of the four Kumaras. The four Kumaras, they one day they went to the Vaikuntha planets, and in the Vaikuntha planets, you don't go there so easily. I mean, you have to fulfill certain conditions. So there are gatekeepers, Jai and Vijay, and these gatekeepers, when the four Kumaras came, they were just like small children, 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old. At least their bodies were like that. But they were very advanced sages. Although their body was small, they were very advanced in knowledge, because as we know, the soul is eternal, so, you know. But they appeared very like children, and they were also naked. So the giant Vijay, some or other, for whatever reason, they stopped and said, no, you no entrance in Vaikuntha for you. So then the Kumaras, the four Kumaras, they were offended by that. And then they said, you will have to take birth in the material world. And then Giant Vijay was shocked. And then they reached out to Lord Vishnu, who then appeared on the spot and said, Lord Vishnu, well, I cannot undo the statement of my pure devotees, but I can give you the choice to either take 3 births as demons or 9 births as devotees in my pastimes in the material world. So then Jaya and Vijay, they felt, okay, if we take 9 births, it's very nice as devotees, but we are going to be separated from Vaikuntha for a longer time. And then they choose to rather take 3 births as demons. And the first birth they took was as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasipu. So, and here we are in that first pastime with Hiranyaksha. And then the second birth was as with Lord Ram's pastime as Ravana and Kumbhakarna. This was the second birth. And the third birth was which happened then 5,000 years ago in the pastime of Lord Krishna with Shishupal and Dantavakra. That was the third birth as demons. And then after that, they were eligible to go back to their eternal service as the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha. So then, so here in that verse, Prabhupada explains that the planets in the universe, they float. Although planet Earth, as we know how heavy Earth is, how heavy one rock. If you have one rock in your hand, it's like already very heavy. So this whole planet Earth, by Krishna's arrangements is floating, and not just one planet, but uncountable number of planets, and they all, float in different ways, the earth and the sun and all around, and then they make in circles, and they never clash. And so all this is part of the Lord's creation. But Srila Prabhupada, in the purport, he points out that that the people, first of all, people they don't see the hand of Krishna in there. Some or other, it's very strange how you cannot see some, the hand of the Lord in this whole creation, and a little seed you put in the ground and it fructifies either in a cauliflower, tomatoes, or a small tree, or a big tree, or a banyan tree. So it's so incredible that this creation is so incredible, and it's so incredible to that people cannot see Krishna's hand in such a creation. It's in one sense very sad, on the other sense it's very silly that people cannot see that. And so Prabhupada in this purport is also mentioning that the floating, because it's the floating by the Lord's power, if people abuse Mother Earth, then that floating can be disturbed. Because by the Lord's power, by the Lord's energy, by the Lord's scientific laws, that he makes it float. But it's not that people living on the earth can do whatever they like and everything is fine. Like Sri Prabhupada mentions here, that if they take out the oil, which they are doing, in tons and tons of oil is taken out from the earth, that has its effect on the planet, because this is now going on for, I don't know, for more than 100 years or so, and that has its effects, and people don't know or don't want to know that this can disturb the planet. Like at the time of Hiranyaksha, they, I don't know exactly the detail of that, but they were taking out the gold out of the earth. Hiranyakasipu was very fond, and Hiranyaksha, they were very fond of the gold. And the taking, they were saying there was a corridor between Sri Lanka and Brazil, which was like a corridor for the gold transport or something. I don't know exactly the detail, but there is some. So that gave a disturbance to the earth, by which the earth went down in the Garbhodaka style ocean. So because the whole universe is half filled with water, so then if the planets, like the planet Earth in that case, under the influence of the demons in Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasipu, the earth came out of balance and went down to the ocean. And then the Lord, on the request of the demigods, he interfered that how the Lord took an incarnation of a boar, and then on his tusks, even the Lord was so big, and on his tusk he then took the earth from the ocean and put it back into its space, and he corrected whatever imbalance there was. So I will continue reading. So only Lord Brahma is the first demigod, and Hiranyaksha is the first demon in this universe. Only under certain conditions do the planets float as weightless balls in the air, and as soon as these conditions are disturbed, the planets may fall down in the Garbhodaka ocean, which covers half the universe. The other half is the spherical dome within which the innumerable planetary systems exist. The floating of the planets in the weightless air is due to the inner constitution of the globes, and the modernized drilling of the earth to exploit oil from within is a sort of disturbance by the modern demons, and can result in a greatly harmful reaction to the floating conditions of the earth. And then Srila Prabhupada continues by saying, a similar disturbance was created formerly by the demons headed by Hiranyaksha, the great exploiter of the gold rush, and the earth was detached from its weightless condition and fell down into the Garbhodaka ocean. The Lord, as maintainer of the whole creation of the material world, therefore assumed the gigantic form of a boar with a proportionate snout, and picked up the earth from within the water of Garbhodaka. Sri Jayadev Goswami, the great Vaishnava poet, sang as follows. Sati dashana shikare dharani tavalagna sashini kalamka kaleva nimagna kesava dritta sukara rupa jaya jagadisa hare jaya jagadisa hare jaya jagadisa hare. O Kesava, O Supreme Lord, who have assumed the form of a boar, O Lord, the planet Earth rested on your tasks, and it appeared like the moon engraved with spots. So it's of course a wonderful pastime, where we see that the Lord has a solution for everything. If the Lord is pleased by the devotees and want to interfere even with the earth going down towards the causal ocean, then the Lord can manifest any form. In this case, he manifested a huge form of a boar with two tusks, and he just gently took up the earth and put it back into its place. And it's explained in the purport that the planets they have structures, they are composed with certain components. So Srila Prabhupada explains if one of the components is disturbed, like in the case of at the time of Hiranyaksha with the gold, or in the case with the people now with the drilling for oil, then it can unsettle the earth. We also see that there are so many disasters and Hare Krishna. And welcome.
Thank you.
So like tsunamis or earthquakes on the Richter scale of 8, where the earth is reacting. Earth is also a living entity, and it is made to give its products to the human beings, but not in the way we are doing. It's not meant for this deep drilling and taking out the oil. It's Sri Prabhupada gave as the solution for Krishna consciousness and for people in general and devotees in general to live on this earth is by organic, doing things in an organic way. And Srila Prabhupada always states in the Bhagavatam, in his lectures, that due to the fact that we are just we have temporary lives here on this earth, and we shouldn't go into very sophisticated things. We are going much too far, much too deep. We're trying to find a solution for every problem we have. Srila Prabhupada, he liked simple living, high thinking. Srila Prabhupada said economy should be based on agriculture and cows. That should be the human's preoccupation. There should be farms with cows, and then the land is plowed by the bulls, and not by the tractors, not by the big machines, and everything. The earth will provide everything. And if we do that, then the seasons will not be disturbed. Now the seasons are disturbed. Before you had very clear seasons of summer, spring, summer, autumn, and winter. These seasons, they are disturbed now. Sometimes, you can have in the summer, you have a hailstorm. It's just not the way it should be. But that's because who are the ones who are disturbing the earth are the humans. It's not the animals, it's the humans who are disturbing Mother Earth, and who are not living in an organic, natural way. It's due to our interference in just like with the oil and with the gold mines and all these things, all this over endeavor is just leads, and it's all based on lust and greed, and on wanting to possess and wanting to be rich. Our goal of life is not to be rich. Our goal of life is to enrich our soul and to develop our natural relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then that's the only way we can be happy here. We cannot be happy even if we have thousands of kilos of gold. That doesn't give happiness. It's just greed. We just need, and Krishna will provide. The Lord will provide. We will have everything what we need. natural way, and when we give it in a natural way, then Mother Earth will also give. Mother Earth is ready to give, even jewels, even everything what people require for simple living on this earth. She will give in abundance, provided we take to a natural way of life. But this exploitation, either for gold or for oil, oil is the gold of the modern, of the Kali Yuga era. So that gives, comes to extreme situations. And we see the reactions of nature, reactions of wars. These are all karmic reactions of not living, not using Mother Earth, and not spending our time the way we should while we are here in a temporary situation on the planet Earth. When the Lord appeared to pick up the earth, the demon of the name Hiranyaksha tried to create a disturbance in the methodical functions of the Lord, and therefore he was killed by being pierced by the Lord's tusk. So Hiranyaksha, and the demon, he attacked, because the Lord came as Lord Varaha to save the situation, and Hiranyaksha wanted to interfere. He wanted to kill the Lord, because he wanted to be the Lord of everything. So then he was killed by the Lord's boar incarnation, Lord Varaha. And therefore he was killed by being pierced by the Lord's tusk. According to Sri Jiva Goswami, the demon Hiranyaksha was killed by the hand of the Lord. Therefore, his version is that after being killed by the hand of the Lord, the demon was pierced by the tusk. So that's a small, how was he exactly killed? There are two versions. One is by hand, and then later by the tusk, and one is that he was killed by the tusk. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur confirms that version. So the accepted version is that he was killed by the Lord's hands, because he had the earth on his tusk. So by the Lord's hands, the demon was killed, and then he was pierced by the tusk. So the demons, they are always full of pride, and they will always want to be superior. And sometimes they even are able to conquer the demigods and create disturbance, even take over the position of Lord Indra. This does happen sometimes. But then, because the demigods, you see, demigods, they live very long, and they have easy lives. On the earth, life is a little more difficult. But on the other hand, when you have easy life, it's also more easy to forget Krishna. That's the side effect of having an easy life. You sometimes see that also with people here, or even sometimes with devotees. When they have easy life, then they tend to forget the Lord. When they have difficulties, then they start praying to the Lord. So that's why Queen Kunti was calling for calamities, so that she would always remember the Lord. She was welcoming difficulties, because in time of difficulties she could she could pray for the Lord's lotus feet more intensely than when things were going shanti, very easy. So that's the way how things go. And the difference with the demigods is that demigods also making, due to their desire to enjoy, because everybody wants to be happy and everybody wants to enjoy, but the demigods had the tendency to also deviate and enjoy the material aspects of life. And the demons, all the way, of course, they want to enjoy independently of Krishna very much. But the difference is that if the demigods get into difficulties, because they are devotees, so then they pray to the Lord, or sometimes they even come together and they go to Lord Brahma, and then Lord Brahma goes to Lord Vishnu and asking for help. So the demigods, if they have chastised, they are humble enough to admit that they make mistake and to ask for forgiveness. The demons, they will never ask for forgiveness, at least not in this lifetime of being a demon. They are very hard-headed. They are always right, and they whatever happens, they go for it, even if it's the wrong thing. Which in the demon's case, usually they go for the wrong thing, and then they end up getting killed or badly punished. So that's the difference of the mentality. Demigods have a devotee mentality. Means they shouldn't. Okay, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It's not that devotees don't make mistakes. It's not that demigods don't make mistakes. On the contrary, but at least they surrender. They admit. They accept that they made a mistake, and they don't retaliate. The demons, you point out their mistake, they will retaliate. They want to kill you if you point out their mistake. So that's why being humble is such an important aspect in Krishna consciousness. To take a humble position is a dual quality of a devotee. And it's very important characteristic, because Vaishnavas have like 26 qualities, and to be humble is very important, because this pride means, I want to be better than you. I want to be, I want to be the Lord. I want to lord over. I want to be the boss here. That is, that's a, one always has to see himself as a humble servant of the Lord. And in that mood, then so much softness of heart can develop, and so much we by being humble, we create an environment where the Lord the Lord's mercy can be received, can be given to us. If we are too pride or too controlling or too bossy, then that's the wrong attitude. that's why these pastimes of the Lord are there to show us. Because like Jaya and Vijay, they made this mistake of refusing the kids to come in Vaikuntha. But this mistake can also be organized by the Lord, so that He can manifest His pastimes, and by manifesting His pastimes, He can show what is the best way to live and to think and to act as a devotee. Because that's the whole Srimad Bhagavan is showing us, that chapter after chapter is showing us all the different things that how we can, as a devotee, how we can increase our qualities, how we can become a better devotee, how we can purify our heart through the chanting of the holy name, and by having a deeper understanding of the goal of life and all the aspects that we should consider. So I have a Zoom call with Mayapur, and I cannot have to stop a little early now, basically now, because it's a meeting at 12 o'clock, but I couldn't change it.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
You covered 45 minutes.
Finish.
Short question.
Terminamos.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the interesting class. I heard also, like, the version Jai and Vijay, they knew that Vishnu has this, Krishna has also this desire to have a good fight. So they wanted to give him that opportunity. So my mind is material and is also influenced by ignorance and passion, and when I was young, I was watching these fighting movies, and so there is some attachment to that. So if I chant japa and I meditate on Varahadev fighting and Nrsimhadev fighting, is it proper mood or how to
Depends what it does with you. If you are always the winner and you become proud, then it's not so good. But if it makes you more humble and makes you appreciate the Lord even more, then it's fine. It depends what it does. Everything we do, the chanting, the reading Bhagavatam, prasadam, it should help us to come closer to Krishna. So if the fighting makes you more resent, and you start taking the position of Hiranyaksha in the fight, then you may identify too much with that role. That may not be the best attitude. It depends how you internally deal with it. If it makes you more, makes you more soft-hearted, gives you more wonder and appreciation for Krishna's wonderful activities, then it's fine.
Oh,
Jai.
Jai. Qué pena.
Jai Caitanya ki.
Jai.